It started as a joke on the internet, a few viral TikToks, a couple of YouTube shorts where foreigners tried to imitate how Filipinos speak English. People laughed, people copied, and then something strange happened. The world began to fall in love with the Filipino accent. What was once teased or misunderstood suddenly became admired, even called sexy. But why? What changed? Why is everyone suddenly talking about the way Filipinos speak? To understand this, we need to look at how language, confidence, and culture collide. For decades, the Filipino accent was often hidden, softened, or replaced. In schools and offices, many Filipinos were told to neutralize their accent, especially in call centers or corporate environments. It wasn't because it was bad, it was because Western clients wanted something familiar, something American or British. So for years, millions of Filipinos trained themselves to sound like someone else. But deep down, the real accent never died. It just waited for the right time, and that time is now. The internet changed everything. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram gave ordinary people a global microphone. Suddenly, it wasn't just Western influencers who defined what is cool or attractive. Now, anyone with a phone could shape trends. When Filipino creators started speaking naturally with pride, humor, and energy, people noticed. The Filipino accent is warm, melodic, and expressive. It's full of rhythm and life. It doesn't sound robotic or flat. It sounds like music. Words that dance rather than march. That musical quality makes it stand out in a digital world where most voices sound the same. One reason people now call it sexy is confidence. When you hear someone speak with their natural accent and not try to hide it, it feels authentic, and authenticity is deeply attractive. It's not just about how it sounds, but what it represents. Pride, charm, and identity. Filipinos don't speak English to sound Western. They speak it as Filipinos. And that subtle shift from imitation to ownership is powerful. There's also the emotional warmth that comes through when a Filipino speaks. Whether they're saying good morning or telling a story, there's this genuine friendliness that can't be faked. It's part of the culture, the warmth, the laughter, the hospitality. The accent carries that same energy. It's like a smile that you can hear. Social media exploded with examples. Foreigners began reacting to Filipino YouTubers and TikTokers, saying, "I love the way they talk." Comments flooded in. "It's so soft but confident. It's sweet and musical. It sounds so caring." Even language coaches and linguists started analyzing the sound, noting how it blends American, Spanish, and Asian influences into something unique. The vowels are open and light. The tone rises playfully, and the consonants flow smoothly. It's not harsh, it's inviting. But there's more to it than sound. The Filipino accent represents global connection. The Philippines has one of the highest English-speaking populations in the world, and Filipinos work everywhere. From Dubai to London, from Toronto to Tokyo. Their voices are in hospitals, airports, schools, and global companies. That familiarity creates comfort. When people hear the accent, they associate it with kindness, care, and service. The world has grown to trust that voice. Another reason the Filipino accent is gaining global appeal is media representation. Filipino actors, singers, and influencers are breaking into international stages. Personalities like Bretman Rock, Bella Poarch, and influencers across social platforms are proudly speaking with their accent, not editing it out. When people see confidence, they copy it. When they hear beauty and difference, they start to value it. Hollywood and global entertainment have also played a role. In the past, many Asian accents were used as jokes in movies. But now, the narrative has flipped. Representation has grown. Accents are no longer a punchline. They're part of identity. So when the Filipino accent enters the global space, it brings flavor, warmth, and individuality. The rise of the Filipino accent also mirrors a bigger cultural movement. People around the world rejecting the idea that you must sound Western to sound smart, successful, or beautiful. Millennials and Gen Z are rewriting the rules of what's attractive. For them, confidence, authenticity, and self-love matter more than conformity. And the Filipino accent checks all those boxes. There's also something psychologically comforting about the sound. Linguists say that the Filipino accent S, soft rhythm and rounded vowels, make it subconsciously soothing to the ear. It's not sharp or aggressive. It flows. It's the kind of voice that makes people feel safe, like they're talking to a friend. That S part of why it S, being described as sexy. It S, not the loud or forceful type of sexy, but the gentle, magnetic kind. The accent makes you want to listen longer. Another key reason is storytelling. Filipinos are natural storytellers, expressive, emotional, funny, and sincere. When a Filipino speaks English, it's not just words. It's rhythm, expression, and feeling. That emotion resonates deeply in online spaces, where people crave real connection. People don't just hear the accent, they feel it. And that's what sets it apart. But perhaps the most beautiful part of this whole shift is how Filipinos themselves are beginning to see the beauty in their voice. For years, many felt insecure about it, afraid of being judged, corrected, or mocked. Now, those same people are going viral, getting praised, and realizing they never needed to change in the first place. Their accent was never the problem. The world just wasn't ready to listen. And nowadays, the rise of global remote work also helped. International employers now interact daily with Filipino professionals, hearing the accent through meetings and collaborations. Instead of being dismissed, it's now associated with competence, friendliness, and reliability. When something sounds trustworthy and pleasant, people respond positively, and that perception reinforces attraction. Some say the Filipino accent's charm lies in its balance. Not too heavy, not too neutral. It's flexible. It can sound formal, funny, or flirtatious, depending on the tone. It has emotional range. That versatility makes it ideal for media, entertainment, and global communication. Add to that the warmth of Filipino culture, the politeness, the laughter, the humility, and suddenly, the accent isn't just a way of speaking. It's a reflection of character. On TikTok, videos where foreigners say, "I could listen to Filipinos talk all day," get millions of views. YouTube comments from around the world praise how smooth, musical, and calming it sounds. Even accent coaches now include Filipino English in their examples of internationally neutral but charming pronunciation. It is no longer an accent to be corrected. It is an accent to be celebrated. But this story isn't just about sound. It's about self-worth. The global love for the Filipino accent shows a deeper truth. The world is finally learning to value diversity, not just tolerate it. People want voices that sound real, not rehearsed. They want connection, not perfection. The Filipino accent embodies that shift. It's a voice that says, "I don't need to sound like you to be heard." That's powerful. That's beautiful. That's sexy. So when you hear people calling the Filipino accent sexy, they're not just talking about pronunciation. They're reacting to what it represents. It's confidence without arrogance. It's warmth without effort. It's beauty without pretense. It asks the sound of a culture that has found its voice, and isn't afraid to use it. And maybe that's the lesson for all of us. Every accent carries a story of history, struggle, and identity. The world once told the Philippines to change its sound to fit in, but now the world is listening to that same sound and calling it beautiful. That's not just a shift in perception. That's redemption. It's proof that when you stop hiding who you are, the world will notice and maybe even fall in love. The Filipino accent isn't new. It's just finally being heard for what it truly is. Musical, emotional, confident, and alive. It's more than just the way words are spoken. It's the sound of resilience, pride, and joy. The world calls it sexy. But Filipinos know the truth. It's the sound of being unapologetically themselves. ChatGPT can make mistake.